Welcome to the first Notebook Check Tech Review, where we take devices that have been reviewed on the German website at Notebook Check. They're going to send the device here to me in the studio, and I'm going to basically give you a summary review, and I'm going to add some of their lab results in as well. So you'll see things like CPU performance data, we'll get their screen testing data that they've done as well, and also battery life data on a range of devices from smartphones, tablets, through to high-end laptops as well. So it's worth subscribing, really worth subscribing, because these videos are going to be done very quickly after the full German review goes up on Notebook Check. And I'll be turning around the summary review plus some of the performance data within days of those German reviews going up, and in many cases before the English review. So you'll get subscription notification in your email box, and you'll be able to check the details out before the full review goes up on the English website. Right, my name's Chippy, and the first device I've got up for review today is the Apple iPad Mini 4. So let's take a look at that. So here it is, the Apple iPad Mini 4, which didn't really get a big mention at the launch event, at the Apple launch event recently. Just a brief mention that it was coming, and indeed it's hit the market. And the important things here really are that the screen is slightly improved. We've got iOS 9 pre-installed on here as well. And we've got a different processor. It's the A8 processor in this, not the A8X. Before we get into some performance figures though, let's tell you a little bit about the specifications. We've got the 7.9-inch screen, which is a 2048 by 1536 pixel. That's something like 336 dpi. It's a Retina display at this sort of arm length distance, and it's IPS, and we've got a really nice brightness figure on that. 411 in the center point, and an average of 436 nits across the screen makes it really, really useful. And it's a very tightly bonded screen as well. So actually in outdoor usage, and you'll see this now, the outdoor display brightness is actually pretty good. There's a lot of readability there, even in sunlight. There's 2 gigs of RAM in this model, and this is the 64 gig version with LTE. Starts at 32 gig with Wi-Fi and goes all the way up to 128 gigs LTE. In terms of ports, that's pretty much it. That's the lightning bolt connector there. Stereo speakers are both down facing or right facing if you're holding it in a landscape mode. On the other side there is a headphone port there and the power button, and then on the right hand side you've just got the 2 volume rocker buttons there. There's an 8 megapixel iSight camera on the back, and on the front we've just got the standard FaceTime camera there, 1.2 megapixels. We've got a couple of demo photos to show you there. Performance in bright light for the iSight camera is actually pretty good, but it's certainly not a low light, and certainly not a leading edge mobile camera, smartphone style camera. Obviously the casing all around is really well built. There's this very tight engineering here, and it's actually pretty attractive. This one is the sort of gold version here. I'm sure that has a special name. It's not the rose gold, is it? That's the gold version here. And also on the front we've got Touch ID for fingerprint login. 6.1 millimeters thickness is class leading, actually. Beats the Xperia Z3. And it weighs here 304 grams. This is the LTE version, which doesn't quite beat the Z3, but it's certainly an excellent weight for a 7.9-inch 4.3 tablet. Now iOS 9 is bringing some nice features to the iPad, and certainly leaning a little bit towards more towards productivity. If we go into Microsoft Word here, for instance, and we click on the keyboard, we can put 2 fingers on there and start to use it as a kind of pointer. It's a selector, a movable selector there. You've also got the slide-in features here, which will bring you apps, an app row here that you can choose from, and then you can go in and choose an app to have on the side there. Let's just skip that bit. You can also bring that into a 50-50 view and have things working on both sides. The other useful feature is this picture-in-picture feature, which allows us to break out video images into an overlay, so you can actually start to do windowed operations. Picture-in-picture also works when you've got a Bluetooth connected keyboard, which allows you to get even more productive. So we'll take a look at performance figures that we've got from our test results in a minute, but here's just a look to see what's in the box. We've got the Apple Lightning connector and the power supply there. Lightning connector to USB 2. One thing we were really impressed with in the test results was our outdoor GPS testing, and it turned out to be pretty accurate, in fact more accurate than one of our reference devices that we use for the tests here at Notebook Check. You can find out more about the GPS tests and all the performance tests at notebookcheck.net or notebookcheck.com for the full review. But let's just give you another few of the performance test results we got on the lab tests. So as I mentioned, the brightness is pretty good, 411 in the middle, with a 443 maximum, which is pretty good, and certainly beats the iPad Mini 3. So for outdoor usage, a big improvement over the iPad Mini 3. Black levels, a little bit more improved, gives us a better contrast, 709 to 1, which isn't perfect. Actually, the Xperia Z3 Compact comes in at 805, and there are devices out there that will get you over 1,000 in terms of contrast now. Accuracy, not too bad, 2.15 maximum deviation on colors, and a 2.29 a 55% Adobe RGB color space coverage, which is not great. When you think the Samsung Galaxy Tab S 8.4 comes in covering the whole of the RGB range, and the Z3 comes in at 73.75%. So slightly poor cover space coverage, but certainly very bright. So if you think of using this outdoors, this is probably one of the best choices. Now, in terms of CPU performance, web performance, or JavaScript rendering, etc., we ran Octane V2 and got a reasonable 9962 out of it, which beats the Mini 3 by a long way, and in fact brings it very close to the Apple iPad Air 2. The Google Nexus 9 comes in 8210, so reasonable Octane V2 scores there. So finally, when we take a look at the battery tests we did, we got a pretty reasonable surfing time of 9 hours, just under 9 hours, 8 hours 59 minutes. That's over Wi-Fi. But then running a Big Buck Bunny, the H.264 1080p video, we got over 10 hours out, in fact nearly 11 hours. So the 10 hours figure that Apple gives for battery life is pretty accurate. Be aware though, although this will run up to 24 hours in an idle mode, with the screen on low brightness, you will actually run down to 4 hours if you start using high brightness and if you start running games. So a 4-hour high brightness gaming tablet and a 9-hour Wi-Fi web browsing or web working tablet is actually pretty good. So for the full rundown of performance tests, and there's lots more, including things like speaker quality and more performance testing, GPU testing and the like, check out the full review at notebookcheck.net and notebookcheck.com. So in the Notebook Check review, we gave the Apple iPad Mini 4 a 90% performance rating. We think it's improved all round over the iPad Mini 3 and comes close to the iPad Air 2. So in terms of performance, a really nice upgrade. Obviously iOS 9 brings new features and certainly some productivity elements there to this highly portable, long battery life, good performance tablet. So that was the Apple iPad Mini 4. We gave that a score of 90% on Notebook Check. You can check out the full review on notebookcheck.net and in German at notebookcheck.de. Don't forget to subscribe to these videos, this video channel, and enable email notifications to get the next notification of the next Notebook Check tech review. Thanks for watching.